Come swap bikes on my smart trainer with me. A smart trainer is a thing that replaces the back wheel of your bike. It allows you to cycle in a virtual world where it takes your power measurements and simulates a speed. For the past year, I had my road bike set up on my trainer, but since buying a used tri-bike on Facebook, I'm swapping the two so I can ride outdoors on my road bike while staying in the aero position on the trainer. First, I had to remove the old cassette from the road bike, which are basically the gears on the back, from the trainer. In order to do this, I had to use a lock ring tool and a chain whip, and you basically just unscrew the cassette from the trainer. Next, I disassembled the rear wheel from the tri-bike by taking out the quick release skewer, and then the wheel will pop off. And I need to do this in order to access the cassette from the tri-bike so I can put it on the trainer. To get the cassette off the wheel, I use the same tools of the lock ring and the chain whip and unscrew to take it off. Unfortunately, this one was a pretty old bike since it's used and it got really stuck. I spent a lot of time trying to pop it off until I finally got it. And it's really important to make sure that the order of your gears don't get mixed up because you want to have the largest one inside the wheel, and sometimes there are spacers between the gears that you don't want to lose. Once I got everything back in order, then I could move back to the trainer and start sliding the whole cassette on. Each gear slides onto that gray cylinder, which is called a free hub, and that thing has these grooves that you have to align for each gear. So you have to slide on each gear one by one and make sure everything is all nice and ordered. Once all the gears are on, you use the lock ring tool to screw down the lock ring, which will tighten down the cassette. Afterwards, you want to check the cassette to make sure that there's no play between the gears. Here I actually found some play, so that means I probably messed up somewhere and I have to redo the cassette. Once I took the cassette off, again, I realized I missed a spacer at the very back of the cassette. Once the cassette is on the trainer, I just bring over the rest of the bike, slip the chain over those gears, and put the through axle into the trainer. I tighten it down just like I would a rear wheel and make sure everything's good, and voila! The pain cave is ready.